age that poorly as compared to a man? Is that how it goes? I mean, is that what it looks like when a 55-year-old walks into a place with a 46-year-old lady? Is that what it looks like? Because if so, how could you even blame dudes for going after 20 and 30-year-olds, right? Because this is something else. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Yeah, we're running a little bit low on time. We're gonna be going for probably another 10 minutes, so we're gonna wind it down from here. All right, see if we can't get a little bit of relaxing in. But this is actually pretty important. I wanted to draw attention to the fact that we're not gonna get through all the screenshots. I got many more to go. All right, like for example, this was the other day. I don't want to know about this, but see, look at all the different screenshots. Hold on. Sometimes I mess up, but look at all these different other screenshots that we had to go over. I don't know why I doubled them. Anyways, there's a lot of them. All right, as you can see, we want to talk about every single one of these. That's why we had to have these broadcasts every gosh, there's so many, and all of them have different points to be made that we could discuss at great length if we wanted to. All these different screenshots. So let me tell you, dude, there's no shortage of material that we have to talk about. I mean, all these things, dude. That's how many that we have, right? This is at the end of the line. Ohio woman mauled to death by two large, thin dogs. Oh man, are we going to talk about that? And so all sort of advice that I had to give to y'all about dogs. All right, and come to find out that's actually important because that wasn't the only lady I heard recently getting mauled by dogs. All right, that's not the only person I heard who's getting mauled by dogs recently. I just got to bring it up. I hope it's something that doesn't continue down as like a very popular thing. Like I hope that's not trending as far as into the near future with people getting mauled by dogs, packs of wild dogs. All right, sounds like Mad Max or something like. It's like what in the world? The thing is, people need advice. I think when it comes to dogs and stuff, they don't realize about dogs. And it's like, dude, I'm not a dog whisperer, but I grew I grew up in South Central Texas, so it's like I have some sort of idea. I just wanted to give some advice on that, but that's a ways from now. We got so much to discuss. All right, so that's just to let you know we have all sort of news on the docket that we may or may not even get to. There'll be more news to come day after day. But investigation clears assistant principal Stoneman Douglas of mishandling school safety issues. All right, and if I'm not mistaken, who they're talking about, if I'm not mistaken, his name right here doesn't say it, but he's Winifred Porter Jr. All right, and this is in regards to Parkland, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. Oh, that incident. February 14th, 2018. We've been covering it very closely. There's all sort of questions, just to let you know, and you already do know probably, that cannot be answered. And we're talking about simple ask questions. Where's the authority? Who's responsible for this? We have simple questions. By the way, I got turbo force up in this drink, all right? Hate on it if you want. I got some force behind me right now. Investigation. Winifred Porter Jr., assistant principal. All right. So simple of questions that you can ask different various authority figures in this situation. They'll never be able to answer you. Simple questions. Okay. So when we're talking about Winifred Porter Jr., if I'm not mistaken, and I might be, maybe I'm getting things mixed up. Y'all let me know. Okay. He was the assistant principal who went over the intercom. Because remember, the other principal, the main principal, he wasn't there. He was at the airport for no good reason. All right. On Valentine's Day. What was he doing there? We want simple explanations. We want it now. We want corroborated evidence. We want everything to check out, and it's not. All right. So the main principal was not there. He was at the airport. Assistant principal, he's the one who learned about the fire alarm or something, or so he's the one who engaged. He's the one where the fire alarm goes off. Now, this is an open campus where it's all sort of buildings. the question arises, and we should have answers to it. Right? Maybe some of us do. All right, but they're very hard to find. It's like an Easter egg hunt, dude. What buildings actually have fire alarms going off? Was it all of them? Was it half of them? Was it only one building? Did you have children evacuating from every single building? Is that protocol? What is protocol? All right, as simple as question as that. Hey, what's the protocol for fire alarms? And for if there's a fire at the school, because here we know that this is an open campus. It's also different buildings. So what if one building catches a little bit of fire? Is everybody going to evacuate from every single building? Is that the smart thing to do? Whether or not it is the smart thing to do, is that protocol? Is that just what protocol is? What's the protocol? And you all finding out whether or not there is a fire, right? Because obviously there was not fire, so to speak, in building 12, all right? So what is the protocol? How do you, I mean, let's say there is a fire in a building. How do you, as a principal on the other side of the building, know that there's a fire in that building? Do you call people on the walkie-talkie? Do you have some sort of video surveillance, a camera room, if you will, where you can take a look and see if stuff's actually on fire? That way, when you tell people over the intercom during the fire alarm to evacuate from their classroom like you did, like all sort of witnesses can attest that you did, right? Is there some sort of protocol for knowing whether or not it's a fire? Is that a simple question or not? We can't ask y'all no kind of questions at all, no matter how simple. Is that protocol? Okay, and is it protocol for y'all to have, say, perhaps a signal word that you'd be able to tell all the faculty that they would know whether or not it's a, because here's the thing, am I mistaken? Where wasn't it years ago that they figured out, hey, people can put us in precarious situations by simply turning on the fire alarm and having everything be chaos, all right? People could hypothetically create sitting ducks. Apparently was one of the intentions of Nicholas Cruz was to pull the fire alarm. This is what y'all said. Pull the fire alarm. That way all sort of students would come out and he would shoot them down like some sitting ducks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what y'all said, right? So wouldn't y'all have some sort of protocol against it? I seem to believe that y'all do, and that protocol was not followed. Not at all. All right. So when it talks about investigation clears assistant principal, as Thurman Douglas, oh yeah, I bet it does. I'm sure that it does because the investigation is being held by either a complete, absolute, total rampant criminals, or B, people who are so inept that there's no way that they could perform their job in an adequate nature. Their shoes probably don't have laces that you can even tie. They're probably the shoes that only look like they have laces, and they like squeeze them on their feet. They got little sock shoes, all right? These people out here, it's one or the other. There's no three ways about it. All right, it says in black and white, and it says in the sun setting on. You know what I'm saying? This Pulitzer Prize winning publication. It says right there. There's no three ways about it. There is no third way. It's one of two ways. That's what's going on here. And all you have to ask is the most simplest of questions. You're not going to be allowed to. He's going to be relocated, or he's going to go wherever he wants. Don't ask him no questions, right? What is the protocol of a fire alarm? That's all you have to say. And this guy and his whole story is going to become absolutely absurd. Right? He's going to be caught in a lie, but nah, whatever. He's being dismissed. We have no further questions for this fella, unfortunately. And that's something I wanted to point out. That's pretty much going to end the broadcast, you know.